Good morning. Do you remember when I used to call with Mr. Fry? I would call whoever was a subscriber a Mishlik. Do you remember that? We admire the Amish for all their hard work, but we're Catholic. So Stephen thought of a name, Mishlik. So good morning, Mishliks. I am Lisa Fry, the Catholic unschooler, homeschooler, all around schooler. So while I drink my coffee, I'm going to explain what happened yesterday. It was so awesome. So the video that I put up before, hold on a second, before this should show the kids and I going to confession and seeing, I don't know, the whole day was just amazing. Okay? Amazing. So yesterday, my eldest daughter said, I would like to go to confession. And boom, my son instantly, without a doubt, was like, I'll go. So when I say it, oh, this is a big complaint, right? And then they go. But no, we haven't gone as a family in a long time, probably a year. There's always somebody that is sleeping, fell asleep, or something that just doesn't happen. So after my daughter suggested it, what is this thing here? I keep seeing this. What is that? So after my daughter said it, is that better? It was no problem. So that's why after we all went, the two youngins went outside, and Rachel and I was sitting before Jesus, and I was telling her, I said, see how important it is for you to always do the right thing, Rachel, because they are going to follow you joyfully too. When I say something, they complain, whatever, I'm their mother, so there are times that they complain with me, but they don't with her. So I said, you are responsible before God for your brother and sister. So it really, really did shed light on that, I hope. It seemed like it was clicking because she wasn't in any rush to stop talking about it. We still stayed there. And it was a blessing. And, and then, so I'm trying to start a Catholic group, okay? I watched my father do it, and my stepmother. They constantly were, holding groups at their home. So, let me get my coffee. And so I want to start one. I would like to start a Catholic group in my home. And so what I did was, God puts these desires in our hearts, right? Because they belong to Him. So we had to give her driving lessons yesterday, right? Or time, I should say, not lessons. And I said, let's go visit Brother James, who is the religious brother. So you have priests, and that's not who I'm talking about. The brothers, they're not priests, but they are religious. Okay? So we went in to go visit them, and Brother James was not there. He was on a retreat. How cute. And so we ended up seeing Father Joseph. Top of the morning to you, even though it's almost the top of the afternoon. But here you go. We could pretend. I think I would have liked it a little stronger. Okay, so we were in there. My two youngest kids wanted to stay in the car while me and Rachel went up, my oldest, and he invited us in. And I'm so excited to be part of friendship with priest and the religious life. It's people always ask me, Lisa, what excites you? What do you like to do? That's what I like to do. I like to visit the religious. I like to go to mass. I like to look for nuns, authentic nuns that wear the whole habit. And whenever it comes to stuff like that, or retreats, or I don't know, anything that I like museums too. But a lot of times it has to do with the religious. That is so exciting for me. So while we're in there, we're talking, we're asking questions about confession and whatnot, and how I'd like to start this group. And at the end, he goes, because right now I only have 2 other women that have said yes. And he goes, you know what, Lisa? Start it with the small group that you have. Just do it. He goes, one time I had the same amount of people, and in a matter of months, it turned into 40 people. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm giving it. So he blessed the group. He said a prayer over us in the most gentle, sweetest voice coming out of a man. It was wonderful. And it really showed Our Lady in that moment, or even what St. Joseph was like on the planet like that. So he blessed our friendships, our lives, whatever we're doing. It was wonderful. Because when a priest goes like this, like, I could do that to you, but it's not as nearly as special as when a priest does it, because he is a representative of Jesus himself on the earth. And so he asked the Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph, because I really want it to be like, because he said, is it going to be for everyone? What's it going to be? Is it going to be like just for women? I said, no, for everyone. So I like the Holy Family, right? Like under that protection, right? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Yeah. And so he blessed it. He did. And then he said, he actually said that he would come by now and again. I was like, what? My stepmother was just saying this. Hi, Colby. She was just saying that, oh, maybe you can get a priest to come. And I'm thinking, I can't picture all that happening. It's just, I don't want to ask him. I feel like they have too much to do. And he actually said it. I was like, wow, is this not like being approved by God or what? And then he gave me, I think I might have left it in the car. Let me see. He gave me, it's right here. I know it's dark in here because I don't want to turn the light on. A Sunday Missal. This is all the readings for the year in here. How exciting. Like, come on. Like, really? Like, what? Come on. Okay. All right. Okay. So I can use this in my group. We can read it. We can go over it. We can discuss things and just, So I'm excited about that. I probably will do that on Thursday nights. So far, everyone has agreed, which means that I'm going to have to slow down on the other group that I'm going to, because too much. But I am glad that, and let me tell you, it's going to be really hard to do that because I really love these people. They're so nice. So like I said, now and again I'll go. Keep in touch. But I want an authentic Catholic group because I want to be able to talk about how magnificent the church is. I want to be able to talk about what the Blessed Mother is doing in our lives and the protection of St. Joseph over my property. And I want to pray to our guardian angels, and I want to talk about the church and all of her magnificence. It's like, and all the different topics that come up, like Fatima. And I think I need that to be a little bit stronger. So yesterday I had, so here we are, we're all in the car, and just like if we all had taken showers or baths, whatever you do, just like if we had all cleaned our bodies, our souls were clean in the same exact moment. And what grace upon the family must that be, right? And so we're cruising along, we're getting lost. Rachel's driving, they're remembering Daddy, all the places that that he would go, in this area. And the whole the calmness in the car was so beautiful. And the joy, the peace, you know what I mean? The peace. Nobody was arguing, nobody was being annoying, and I don't know. There was a sincere peace, joy, and love in the air. And because we had all washed our souls at the same time, like how exciting as a family was that. And then we were just like, my youngest is saying, Mama, I really like driving around like that. And, you know, I like the woods, and I don't know, it was beautiful. So I think that days like today where I don't have anything written on the calendar, thank God, I think I'm going to take the kids and just go get lost. Let Rachel drive and we'll just go get lost, you see? And that'll be fun because even though, yes, it costs money for gas to do that, I could be putting it somewhere else, right? And instead of putting it somewhere else, put it to the gas. Go explore the world. We'll be back before Miffy wakes up. Feed him. Mr. Fry used to drink coffee like that. And he and his father both. I used to say, why you do that? But he'd always have to go. Yeah. I miss him. Yeah. I want to show you a beautiful picture. I took it. And he was sitting, let me see, where was he sitting? Was he sitting on we used to have what was called a love rock. I don't know if he was there. Most likely. I want you to see this beautiful picture. All right, so check this out, right? Look at him. Is he not beautiful? Just open your eyes, okay? Look. Oh my gosh. I actually got to marry him. Yes. Look at him. Here, I'll try to get closer. I don't know if I can. I can't. But look at. Look. 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 I love him. I love him. And I have all these I have many more things, but I keep these up. I had him here. I didn't have his picture there, but when he was alive here, I used to have these. Happy birthday. Always loving you, Steve. Lisa, I love you with all my heart, mind, and soul. I love you. And then he made that. It's always to treat Lisa. Want me to read it to you? And then there was this too. I have so many more things, but that's what I decided to keep out. I don't like that. I am happy to have those things, but... Alright, so as I was cleaning out everything, I find this. How to treat Lisa. See? Can you see that? Number 1, interested in her day, feelings, thoughts, and ideas. 2, gazing, make her feel safe. I used to always say, can't you just stare at me in the eyes? Can't we just like stare at each other? I wanted that connection, and he didn't really like doing it. He used to always say to me, Lisa, I'm happy if you're in the room. And I'm like, I'm not a fixture on the wall. You know, I wanted his attention. So he wrote 2, gazing, make her feel safe. And even if he never really was into that, like for him to even write that and to even notice it and remember it and care and make this list, honest to God. 3, touch, not in a sexual way. 4, talk things out. Show her you care. 5, get along with her family. 6, validate her. 7, spend time alone with her. And then in parentheses, he wrote romantic. 8, kind, soft, and gentle voice. 9, patience. Now that I think of it, it's like, what was he trying to say? Huh? Okay. 10, courteous. How does she feel about something? With a question mark. So be curious about me, right? For his sake. And 10, no games. How to treat Lisa. No games. Thank you, Mr. Fry. Isn't that nice? I could be like the old Italian ladies that never remarry. And I can totally understand why they would want to do that. I get it. Because heaven is so real to us that, you know, just make that transition from earth to, hey, Stephen, you know. But the thing is, there is no marriage in heaven between us over there. So it's not going to matter if I get remarried. It's just hard, you know. I would have to have a man. I think the only way it's going to work, obviously, but these are the musts. The only way I think that I could get through another marriage with another man is one, if he validates the loss of Stephen. You know what I mean? Like, he'd have to be. He can't say, you know, oh, well, you'll fall in love again. No. He has to be understanding that I love him. 2, he has to be really kind to me and my children. That's like a has to happen. He has to be gentle. And he has to be extremely self-sacrificial to us. He has to be. He has to be sweet. All the wonderfulness. He could be rough around the edges. I like that too. But in the end of the day, he has to have infused within his soul a compassion. He has to lift us up. He has to support. You know, picture like a stork, right? That's all that I keep seeing in my head. He has to be a stork kind of figure where instead of bringing the baby, he's bringing the family. He has to carry us. He has to be willing. He has to be strong enough in his determination to pick us up as a family. It ain't just me. You're not just picking me up, honey. And you're not just loving me. You have to pick us, me and my children, okay? And he has to want to carry us. And he has to really, he has to be strong. Mentally, spiritually. He has to guide us. Boy, it sounds like I'm explaining Jesus. Yeah. So he has to do these things. He can't come in here and be self-focused. He has to be sacrificial. And I too will be the same way. Trust me. Of course I will. But I think that's what's going to help me heal and accept another man. He has to recognize Stephen. He has to be understanding. Does all that make sense? Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for in what I call my next Boaz, who I've mentioned before was a man. The stories in the Bible, and how Ruth, there was a woman named Ruth. She was married and they loved each other, and then he ended up dying. And she was so good to his mother that when they finally had to move, she stayed with her and honored her. That this other man named Boaz saw that and was quite taken by and impressed by her for doing that still. You know, it probably reminds me of like, kind of like what if I were to say to my, hey, Jaja. So I would imagine it being like, what was I just gonna say? He was impressed by her. Oh my gosh, I just lost it. Let me think. I hope you don't mind this video. Just standing here, listen to me talk. Oh my gosh. I got sidetracked. Let me get back to the video and see what my intention was for you. I have no idea. But it was something on the lines of like, I wish I could remember. Anyway, he was impressed by her, and he wanted to marry her. So that is awesome. So I'm looking for my Boaz still. So when it happens, I'm being patient, right? We never want to rush anything. You know, I feel so desperate inside, you know, in that sense, like, oh my gosh, like, please just send me my Boaz. Apparently it is not time for whatever reason, myself or even them. So I pray for them daily, and maybe they're going through something as well, and I need to pray for them. But I'm so desperate inside for that to happen, but I am so like on the opposite end of desperation to just make something work and get no, because I am not going to do this. God is going to do this. God is going to do this because he knows me very well, and he knows. He placed me on the planet. He knew already when I was born that he was going to take my beloved husband to himself, and I'm just waiting. That's what I'm doing, and I'm hoping it will be a certain someone. But whatever God wants, I know that I show you all the time. Well, I haven't shown you in a while. Let me show you. When I was at church one day writing about this particular person, my pencil just all of a sudden, or my pen, I couldn't see what I was writing any longer. It was one of the weirdest experiences I've had in my life. I'd put it in that category, and I didn't know what I was writing. It's like my mind went blank, and I was getting irritated actually, and I said, what am I talking about? Now I have to read what I was writing because I don't even know what I was saying. And then when my pen stopped, this is what my paper said. I looked back and it said, "You did place it in my heart." You see? So that said, that's oopsies. That's how I believe God works in my life. Let me tell you, he has tremendously worked many times that way with me. So when in doubt, I say, you did place it in my heart. And then so I stood up and I said right in front of the tabernacle where they house the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ. And I was like, you did place it in my heart. I knew it was you, because I cannot stop praying for, I cannot stop thinking about, and this person meets every single prayer of mine. That's the thing. If I did not have those prayers said, you know what would have happened? If I didn't say those prayers, you know what would have happened? I would have said, all right, you must have placed it in my heart to pray for this person, and I would have left it at that. But instead, where's my coffee? Because I've said certain prayers before I even met up with this person, they meet every prayer. Every prayer. Like down to the T. Okay? That's it. So I didn't know that person was going to come up, right? And why was I remember the desperation in my voice with God. I was like, you know, it was so vital to have these particular things. So vital. It was so vital, you know, to have these particulars. And so whenever I found out that that this person had all these things, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay. Do I have to say anything else here? I'm just trusting. Just trusting. That's all I can do. I cannot manipulate it. I can try to manipulate it, but in the end, you got to know that when you manipulate, you're in the way of what God is doing. So we don't want to do that. When you find yourself manipulating something, no matter what it is, know that you're in God's way and you're prolonging things. Okay? I want to stay out of the way so much that God is going to do his thing, and then I can come right back in, you see? So we wait. We wait, and it's been a while already, but I don't want it out of God's timing. No. When you have it out of God's timing, good luck to you, honey, because when you force something and it's not God's timing, I mean, if you're gonna be miserable, do it away from the situation, you see? And then when you come back in, it'll be the most pleasant, even though you'll have hard times, it'll be the most pleasant. You see what I mean? So we want to wait, okay? Believe me, I've gone through this before, okay? Yes, with Mr. Fry, exactly. All right. So with all of that said, I told you a lot of things today. I don't know. Maybe I'll call my mother-in-law and wait for my Boaz to show up. All right. God bless you. And I don't know what I'm doing today. Maybe I'll make another video instead of adding on to this. This was a lengthy one. All right. Bon appetito. Wakito.